Before becoming a black belt, there are 5 key colored belts that students of Taekwondo can obtain to show growth as a disciple of their master. And in our time together this week, I'll be sharing their meaning with you and revealing how they've helped me to reflect on key elements of the Christian faith that mark us out as maturing disciples of Jesus. The yellow belt is the second key color belt that Taekwondo students receive if they pass the yellow belt exam. Its color represents a number of different things in different schools, but all with the same core meaning. Some see it as representing the earth, specifically gold ore found in the ground. Because of its purity, gold was considered to be a symbol of truth, which was seen to be the sure foundation upon which all of our lives should remain built. Some see yellow as a seed rather than gold that's been planted in the earth as the foundation of all plant life. And some see yellow as representing the rays of the sunlight that are foundational for any plant to grow. All 3 images are meant to convey the idea that the student has demonstrated evidence of the foundations of Taekwondo taking root in their minds and in their bodies. The simple truths that they have learned from their master are the foundation that all they learn in the future will be built upon. We live in a period of history where truth is treated as a relative concept, based on the perception of each person. Your truth and my truth might be different from one another, and society tends to suggest that that's okay because there's no such thing as absolute truth. The fact of the matter is that humans are unable to be truly objective, and so all truth is viewed through the lens of your own worldview. This modern or postmodern philosophy of truth being relative is not a new idea. The Bible is full of references of this kind of thinking, and its authors actually teach that all human notions of truth are deeply flawed. However, the Bible does not encourage us to consider all truth as relative, but rather to consider all our own truths as relative. It points to the unlimited perspective of God, who sees and knows all things and is therefore the only objective source of truth. God's truth is absolute and exists entirely independently from our own thoughts and our ideas. You know, the ancient Greeks and the Gnostic people referred to this truth as a sort of a secret wisdom. They called it things like the Word or the Word of Truth. And they believed that you had to transcend this world in order to be able to find it, because truth is found in heaven and not on earth. This reminds me of how Jesus was described by John, one of his closest disciples, who wrote the following. He said, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing that has been made was made." So, John describes Jesus as the Word, the transcendent truth of God, the foundation upon which all things that have been built and made have been built. Jesus is like the gold in the earth beneath our feet, a true foundation upon which to build our lives. John then says of Jesus, "In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind." So Jesus is life, like the life in a seed planted in the earth from which all plants grow. In Jesus is the light that leads to the life of all mankind, just as the sunshine is essential for all of our lives and all growth on earth. You see, all the way through this description, Jesus is being described by John as the transcendent, absolute truth of God. But then he says something new about him. He says, "The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son who came from the Father, full of grace and truth." You see, in this one sentence, John destroys any notion of truth being pointless to seek because it remains beyond us. He says truth came to us because we couldn't come to it. He says truth took on human form so that we could see and understand it at our level and observe what a life governed by God's truth looks like. The fullness of truth was revealed in Jesus Christ, the Son of God who took on human flesh to dwell among us and give us a foundation of truth upon which we could build our lives. You know, wise Christians don't claim their ideas are absolute truth and the foundation of all morality. They claim Jesus is that truth and foundation. They point away from themselves towards Jesus, and they build their lives not on Christian theology or understanding, but upon a relationship with Jesus, the one person who can lead us into truth. You know, maybe you're a skeptic of Christianity because you feel that all religions suggest that they have an exclusive claim to whatever is true, whilst they all teach different things. And if that's you, I get it. I really do understand. But what you need to understand about Christianity, genuine Christianity, is that it doesn't claim to have all the answers. Rather, it points to Jesus Christ and claims that he is the answer. He is the only one who can lead you to understand what is really true. He is the foundation upon which Christianity stands. He is the seed from which all true disciples grow. Perhaps you're a disciple of Jesus, but you need to be reminded from time to time that your ideas of what's right and wrong may be more wrong than right. You need to look to Jesus for wisdom every day and point people to Jesus to seek truth rather than acting as if you are the source of all truth yourself. So why not take some time today to explore the incredible teachings of Jesus found in the Gospels at the beginning of the New Testament part of the Bible? I think you'll find that everything Jesus said had the ring of truth about it, and that his words are a firm foundation for you to build your life upon.